Welcome to the Phoenix Park in Dublin for the 2015 edition of the SPAR Great Ireland Run. The event, now in its 13th year, it's the traditional curtain raiser to the Great Run series on the road. There's a top-class elite field assembled with Irish eyes focused on a very good Irish woman, Fionnuala Britton, and will certainly pose a threat to Britain's Gemma Steele. There's so much to look forward to, and what a race in prospect we have as far as the women are concerned. There's Ava Hutchinson being first introduced, talented athlete, 33.21 her best over 10k. She's an Irish Olympian. Just introducing the elite women for you, or a sample of them. There are plenty in this field. It's a very good field, a very competitive field. Valeria Strano of Italy, 8th in the Olympic marathon incidentally. This in 2012, she's quite talented and should feature in this. Well, a big introduction for Gemma Steele, a late entry, more about that in a moment, but a European champion. She was 18th in the World Cross Country Championships this season. She's very, very talented and will certainly pose a threat, as I said, to Fionnuala Britton. What a CV she has. Twice European champion, European indoor bronze medalist. Most of her achievements, though, have been on the road and on the country. She's very, very talented. And in this Phoenix Park, the crowd, it's a big crowd. It's very blustery. You can see the wind having its effect on those assemblies on the side of the start. It's a big, big field indeed. There are many who will be clicking personal stopwatches, but for the elite athletes, they're away. And Gemma Steele and Fionnuala Britton already at the centre of the field, pushing away. And I would think that there will be a break away from the masses fairly shortly. In this field, incidentally, Katharina McKiernan. I don't know whether we'll get a shot of her. 45 now. 4 times World Cross Country silver medalist, Berlin, London, Amsterdam marathon winner, but a teacher and a coach now, but's decided to come back and run here. And her former coach is now coaching Fionnuala Britton, I'm told. And that's Joe Doonan. But look how well they're spreading out already. I'm not surprised when you look at the talent and the quality of the athletes, the elite athletes right at the front of this field. Well, the challenge for them is a circuit of Phoenix Park. We'll have a look at that map just in a moment. It starts off in Chesterfield Avenue and then turns right at 1 kilometre, and then, of course, down through 3, 4, 5, right down to the south, Khyber Road, as you see, and then up through one of the band stations on site. There are a couple of those, round it to 8 and 9, and then back up to the finish. It's a good course, but challenging in the sense that it's very blustery. And Gemma Steele, as always, up there at the front with Stranao. I mentioned her at the beginning. She was 8th in the Olympic marathon in London, World Championship silver medalist in the marathon too in 2013. Great, great talent, very strong, got great strength, endurance. But Gemma Steele, a late entry here. She had a very tough World Championships. Her coach John Nuttall went out to see her in China. She was 18th. She was pleased with that. It was an altitude situation which she coped with quite well. She had a fitness test in Loughborough, decided that she could run and was fit enough to run, and hence her late entry. Well, they're bunching up now, as one would expect. Still, here we are, Steele, Stranao, Aguirre, Britton and Novakovska in that leading group, tall figure. But I would expect the times to be, well, I guess, around about the 33, 32 and a half, 33, I would think. Aguirre in that bright red. Gemma Steele loves to lead. Fionnuala Britton, who so often in the past has challenged on the country and on the road. She's now, I'm told, focusing at qualifying for the marathon in next year's Olympic Games, I'm told, but we'll see. Stranao just sitting in tightly there. Britain eyes down, deep in concentration. I was just looking down at Lizzie Lee of Ireland, Cork, the Lee Vale Athletics Club. She's there, the tall figure on the left of your shot now, one of the leading, half a dozen or so, moving away from the rest of the field in the early stages of this race. It is very, very blustery indeed, and it will certainly take its toll on some. With the circuit, they will get some advantage of a wind behind, but we'll see. Aguirre, incidentally, third in last year's run in the bright red, so she knows the course pretty well. Fifth in the World Championship marathon as well, so she's a 70.56 half marathon, incidentally. That was she was 21st in the World Half Marathon Championships last year. But Gemma, of course, broke 70 minutes last year, which was her big breakthrough. It was 60, just over 68 for her in the 68.13. That was her first sub 70. And remember, she won this race in 2012. She's been very confident. The only blip in her whole season, really, thus far, was the 11th place in the Edinburgh Great Cross Country, because she came off the European, she came off that big championship and looked very, very low in power and energy. And I spoke to her yesterday and she said, I have no idea what happened. She said, my legs just wouldn't go with me on the last lap. And she said it's just one of those days. 2 kilometres gone, and they're around about, well, it's difficult to give an overall view now, but I would think they're going to be around about 33 and a bit. It's going to be a bit slower than 33, I think. But no one really letting go yet. Fionnuala Britton, the shorter of those leading figures, now in what? Well, in that leading group there with the bright yellow and red on the shoulders. Fourth last year, and her personal best last year was 33.54. She set that last year, incidentally. Twice European cross-country champion. That was in 2011 and 12. But look how the stragglers go. But that's one of the things about these 10-kilometre races. Well, it's time for the men now, and what a talent we've got here. There is an Irish competition in this race as well, and I think we're going to see Mark Hanrahan being introduced to the crowd first. Remember, 6th last year in this race, European cross-country representative for Ireland last year. Little nervous look on his face. And the Moroccan now being introduced. European clubs cross-country champion this year, so he's in pretty good form. He's got a race under his belt, World Championship 5,000 metre competitor as well last year, or in 2013 I should say. But now look at this, the next world record holder, 10 kilometres, 15 kilometres, 10 miles, Leonard Coleman. I mean, really, World Cross Country Championship silver medalist all those years ago. He's been around a while. But my goodness me, what a talent. But this guy coming up next is a real talent too. He is the World Cross Country Champion. He is the defending SPAR Great Ireland Championship winner. And that race he won last year. And really, when you consider the power in his legs, he's got terrific endurance. You don't win the World Cross Country Championship easily, and for him to do that, and then to win this race last year, and look at this already, the Coleman career. Rungaru also up there is a tall figure in that leading group. So's Nebebu of Ethiopia. There's only 12. Those 4 yellow vests at the front, along with El Gumri, I should say, let's put that right. No change at the front. Lizzie Lee, 34.08 her best 10K, set in Dublin here in 2013, and the yellow with that black headband. Novakoska holding on at the back of the group. But certainly the pace is being pushed along a little bit. You can just sense that as There's Coulson just dropping off the back a little bit at the moment. Just wonder, Jess Coulson, the Stockport Harrier, European under-23 cross-country champion a couple of seasons ago. She's dropping off at the back and in that yellow vest. Well, the big names now at the helm, and I can see in the purple vest Scott Overall there as well. Watch Scott in Berlin in 2011 in their marathon. He set his personal best there. I think he was looking for something under 2:10. It was his best. Didn't quite make it in the last couple of years, but he is our marathon man. And really, when you look at Rungaro at the front, well, that's the task that these fellas are following. I mean, it's personal stopwatches. They'll be reporting back in the office on Monday morning. They'll be saying, I've done it, and this is my personal best. There were some running for the very first time, and, well, we'll see. Rungaro leads, along with Coman. Remember Coman, I mentioned he's a world record holder in 3 different distances. He's absolutely superb. Coman, 26.44 is his best over 10k, 41.13 over 15k, and he's done a 44.27 world record for the 10 miles. I mean, that is something else. There's Rungaro, great South Run winner last year. Remember commentating on him. A little bit of, is that hailstones coming down? I think it is. And so a little bit of a cooling element. But El Gumri is hanging on to them. Scott Overall has dropped back a little bit in this race. And then you've got Vincent Chepyegon, I think it is, in that black strip with the yellow around his collar, just dropping off the back of this group. Meanwhile, the women, a new leader, and I'm not surprised because Anguilla will know that Gemma Steele has got a real powerhouse of a finish, and so has Fionnuala Britton, and there'll be a lot of support around this course for Fionnuala when they get into the populated part where all the spectators are. But it's a beautiful, beautiful sunny day with the blustery conditions, but you can't ask for more than that. This is early season. Well, the men's race beginning to develop, as you can see. Just the 4 big names have got away: Coman, Correa, Nebibu and Rungaro. There's a 20-year-old and a 22-year-old in this race, as a world record holder, a cross-country world champion. There's so much talent here. And with really Nebibu of Ethiopia, the 20-year-old, he was 6th in the World Junior Cross Country in 2013, but he's certainly come along a lot, hasn't he? He's 27.59 is his best 10k time. Set that in Rennes on the 14th of October a couple of seasons ago, but just grimacing a little bit. And on the right of your shot, Rungaro, great South Run winner last year, 61.04 half marathon in November. Oh, look at this. Well, all of a sudden, Straneo finding it very tough and is dropping off the back, and we're down to 3 now. And it's Steele, Anguilla, and Fionnuala Britton. And Britton really has always been in the right place at the right time. And who's got the power? Who's got the sprinting power in the final stages of this 10-kilometre race? And that actually looks like Lizzie Lee. That is Lizzie Lee coming through. And that is also Jess Coulson behind her. But these 3 now away from the rest. And Fionnuala looks as if she might start to make some sort of move at the moment. It'd be so good for her. She looks to be really challenging, even despite the blustery conditions. Her personal best, which is 33.54 if I remember. 7 kilometres gone for the leaders now in this 10-kilometre race, so 3,000 metres left, so soon we'll be on. And look at this, Britain determined, takes over just for the moment, putting a bit of pressure on. Straneo, the Italian, suffering at the moment now. She really is suffering, isn't she? Those legs are very, very tired. Right at the back of the field, the phases as they come across the line, look at that, the odd smile. Well, they're making their way in the early stages. 3 kilometres, I think I saw on that marker at the back. But meanwhile, in the race, this uphill part now is it's only slight, but my goodness me, look at Correa. He's got such good speed endurance and strength endurance. Just past 5 kilometres then for the men. And Rungaro's really having a go at this, isn't he? 6th in the World Cross Country Championship in 2011. There were both of them have been 6th in that same junior race incident. He was 8th in the 12K race in Nairobi last year. And he's got a lot of strength endurance too, Rungaro. And Nebibu, I've not seen much of him before. Meanwhile, well, Britain's had to give way, and Steele now putting the pedal down once again. Gemma Steele, such a good runner on the roads and on the country. Coached by John Nuttall. He lives now out in Dubai, but they talk to each other on Skype quite regularly. And look at this, there's a break. And it's Fionnuala Britton who's really left behind on this part. Aguirre is still there. She's the experienced athlete. Well, she was 3rd last year. She knows the course, got a best of 32.26, so this is within her compass. They look as though they might well be around 33 minutes, and look at this rocking and rolling Aguirre. And Gemma Steele, remember, late entry into this race, came in, went to Loughborough, got herself tested. Yes, they said, you're in good shape, you're fit after the World Championships, the cross-country championships, where she was 18th, just to repeat that statistic. And my goodness me, she's showing that form here. I think she's going to spoil the day for the Irish. 7 kilometres then for the men. And all of a sudden, just a little bit of well, they've eased off just a little bit, or apparently so, but Correa still got the lead. Nebibu in 2nd place, Rungaro is there as well. All 4 together now, miles ahead of the rest of the field. This is so typical these days of long-distance races, over 10, over half-marathon, marathon. The Africans do dominate, don't they? The Ethiopian in the form of Birhan Nebebu. As I said, 27.59, his best ever 10K. Incidentally, he's a 27.14 10K man, 10,000 metre man on the track. It was in Eugene in 2013. It's 13.14 over 5,000, just to give you some idea of what he's capable of on the track. That's Nebibu, the Ethiopian. So it's Kenya versus Ethiopia here. And it looks like Coleman has dropped off the back. So he's going to be left behind now, and it's down to 3. Coleman, of course, the world record holder in 3 events, but they were some years ago now, in 2010 and 2011. But look at this, a look over the shoulder. Gemma Steele, who last year ran 68.13, first sub 70 in 2nd place in the Great North Run. And really that sort of form seems to be building once again. She's away, there's no question about that, and there's nothing that Fionnuala Britton can do about it. It's not going to be an Irish story, I'm afraid, on this day. But Correa now puts the pedal down. He's starting to move. Nebibu on the left of your shot. Rungaro there, just coming through some of the female stragglers. But Correa has got a good lead. Steele absolutely powering away from this field. Britain in 2nd place, Aguirre in 3rd. Another little look over the shoulder, but no danger at all for Gemma Steele. She's totally dominant in this race. She really has moved away, and the last 3,000 metres from there on in, she really has showed that she's a class athlete. It hasn't quite translated to the track, but I have a feeling that eventually we shall see a marathon in those legs. Britain, a little bit of work to do to hold off for 2nd place. Well, look at Fionnuala Britton then, 2nd place. Aguirre's had to give way. And Gemma Steele, another little look. She knows that Britain has got a fast finish in those legs, but I think it's far too late for that. And she's going to come, well, I tell you what, Britain is going to be inside her personal best on this by some considerable margin. Aguirre is going to finish in third place unless she's got something, but she's rocking and rolling a little bit. And Britain now puts the pedal down as they come in towards the finish. But Gemma Steele, the Charnwood Athletics Club, becoming a class athlete in every sense. Just listen to the crowd as they greet this young woman coming through to win for a second time. She won it in 2012, she's won it here in 2015. Brilliant run by Gemma Steele. Fionnuala Britton comes into second place, and Aguirre, that's Alessandra Aguirre of Spain, takes the third place. Good race in the end, but Gemma Steele just a little bit too strong and a little bit too fast. Well, Korea looks to be leading by a significant margin now, and surely he won't let this go. The World Cross Country Champion being chased. Nebebu has got some work to do, the 20-year-old. Coman is there, but Rungaro is in front of them, incidentally. So there's third and fourth, and they'll be closing in on Rungaro shortly, I fancy. The gap is definitely narrowing, and you'll see Rungaro, there he is, you can see him coming into shot now, and it'll be interesting to see what response you get from Rungaro once Nebebu comes up alongside. Coleman has been struggling a little bit, the triple world record holder, but now Nebebu moves nicely into second place. So Korea definitely leading. Just a little glance back at the fun runners at the back of this field, the early stages of their race, their personal races. That's what it's all about here. It's not just about the elite, I have to say that. There's so much more going on. All shapes and sizes, all ability levels, all catered for here. But this is a man of exceptional talent, the World Cross Country Champion, a man who's defending his title. He won this race last year, did Japheth Korea, and it looks like Nebebu is holding on for second place. Rungaro looks to be in third, and Coman in fourth place. Coman's come back a little bit. It looks as though he was dropping well back a little early on, but he has had a second lease of life. But Korea is coming through now. Last little glance, a wave as you see, and Japheth Korea of Kenya comes through to win the 2015 or 2015 version of this race. He wins it comfortably, and in the end he looked very, very easy, and with Nebebu in second place, Rungaro in third, and Leonard Coman in fourth. So that was very, very finely tuned race in the end between the big four, but really it went with the script. Let's be honest. Let's bring you up to date now with the result of the men's race. Korea over Nebebu, just 6 seconds. Look, and 1 second between Nebebu and Rungaro, with Leonard Coman of Kenya in fourth place. Well, Gemma Steele, 33.03, and Fiona Britton, a new best, 33.07 in second place, ahead of Aguirre of Spain in third.
It just turned into a tactical race, really. I couldn't shake the other two, so the main priority was just to try and win the race, really, not go too early and to break away too soon. So just had to time it right, because Fionnuala was coming at me at the end, and I had to keep looking over my shoulder. So.
Well, not only did you beat your best time before, you smashed it to smithereens.
Yeah, well, my time wasn't great before. It was from this race last year, I think. And this race today was a lot better than last year. So it's not about times though. On a windy day like this or on a course like this, it's more about places. So I improved 2 places from last year. So.
Well, earlier in the day, we had a mile race. The obvious target was 4 minutes for this. It's the third year of this race, incidentally. It featured Jonny Hay of Great Britain, the European Under-23 cross-country champion. The pacemaker there, Phelim Kelly. Number 11, Danny Mooney, who dropped away significantly in the end. And it was Jonny Hay on the left who started to put the pressure on, along with Mark Akala of Spain and Wouter Ploegar of the Netherlands. It was these three that went through together. The first two, believe it or not, given the same time, 4:12. Well outside 4 minutes, but then on this blustery day, it wasn't unexpected. Well, let's sit from Phoenix Park and the SPAR Great Ireland Run 2015. Next for us is the doubleheader in May, the Great City Games in Manchester. followed by the Morrison's Great Manchester Run, and don't forget to keep up to date on our website, greatrun.org. Till next time, it's goodbye from Dublin.